Alright, what's up, YouTube boxing family? It's K right here. I'm back with another good video for y'all today. Let's get right to it. According to Mr. Smoke City Mobcast, shout out to you, bro. Don't know who you are. I want to say he's 503 Lion, if I'm not mistaken, but he made a really good post right here that was told by Michael Benson. I don't know who the fuck Michael Benson is, but I'm just gonna, come out of my way and just, talk about it because I personally believe it's actually important to talk about it. But Bob Arum has declared that he wants to make Teofimo Lopez versus Gervonta Tank Davis next. We have a track record working with PBC, so if Floyd and Tank want that fight, I think we can get it. Tank shown the ability to draw. Teofimo is Teofimo. That'd be major. I guess according to Ellie Sekback? I don't know. But then again, if that's what Bob Arum wants, and that's what Bob Arum believes in, I think the road to greatness has to be Teo versus Tank. See, now, I don't know how the timeline's going to go. I don't know what, Gervonta Tank Davis is going to do. But I truly believe that Gervonta Tank Davis has to be pushing for these fights. Because what's going to happen is that Gervonta, he's going to be basically shunned out, or he's going to be faded out by Floyd. And Floyd, he's going to try to do him dirty. He's just gonna he's gonna basically screw Gervonta's career to the point where Gervonta, he's gonna get pissed off. And I mean, Gervonta just recently turned 27. I want to say me and Tank are the same age. I don't think he's a 94 child. I want to say Gervonta, if anything, if he is like a year older than me, he should be 28 right now. But I guess according to the internet, or according to recent records, he would be 27. So I want to say he's in my generation, as far as like being in the same birth year, as far as being born in 95. But I'm not so sure about that. But then again, I'm just gonna go off and say Gervonta is 27. But if he's not 27 and he's actually 28 years old, I think that makes a lot more sense, because Gervonta, if he's already 28 years old instead of being 27, that's a really huge red flag, because Gervonta, he'll be nearing 30 years old within 2 years. So either way, like, even though, like, I guess on paper Gervonta is 27, which I'll just say he's 27, this is really important for him to get these fights in right now. And I think the problem is that Floyd Mayweather is not wanting to make these fights until, I guess, that the money is right, or there's some form of agreement that's yet to come. Or I think personally, Floyd Mayweather, he's just jealous that Gervonta Tank Davis is going to, unleash at the gates of hell to surpass Floyd Mayweather. And I think Floyd Mayweather is going to screw over Gervonta Tank Davis's career to the point where we're not going to see these big fights until Tank is vulnerable enough to make this fight be made, while his contemporaries are getting better in skill, and therefore the fight itself is going to just end up like a Lomachenko versus Teofimo fight, where Gervonta, he looks fresh as shit and he looks really good, but he's not the same fighter that we wanted to see Gervonta blossom earlier in his career. And that's why that, like, this whole stupid argument that people come up with to say that, like, I guess, like, for all these big fights that have happened, way back then, in the glory days in boxing, where people said, let the fight marinate, so that way both guys can be at the top of their careers. Well, that doesn't make any sense, because that let it marinate argument just basically means that You want to like basically, you want to squeeze out all the glorious years of a boxer's early career, and their like early 20s or late teen years, going into like their mid 20 sections, of their lives, so that way they don't have the ability to fight all the top young, top young gun competition. And by time when they hit like 28 or 30 plus years old, that's like the right time for them to fight. No, fuck that shit. I don't want to see a Gervonta Tank Davis at 31, 32 years old fighting a Devin Haney at 27 or 29 years old. I don't think that's a really good look for boxing, because people will get pissed off to say, well, why didn't Tank just fight Devin when he was 27 instead of Devin fighting Tank at like 25, and then Tank is like 30 years old. Who knows? Like like me personally, I don't want to see that for Gervonta. I want to see Gervonta skyrocket and take over people. Like literally take over people's careers, end people's careers, do everything that Gervonta Tank Davis said he wanted to do from day one. Because if this doesn't happen, guys, look at what's gonna happen. Gervonta is saying that he's considering quitting boxing after his next fight. So who's to say that Tank will just say, you know what, fuck it, I'm done with boxing. You guys can go fuck off into the sunset without me, because I don't need to be risking my life out there when I could be making way more money outside of boxing, in which he is. Floyd Mayweather's giving him that blueprint to do good outside of boxing. But then again, Gervonta does not need Floyd. Gervonta just needs himself, and he needs his conscience, and he needs his manhood. He needs his pride. He needs his financial independence with him. And I think Gervonta is in a very good financial state of mind. And I don't think Gervonta needs Floyd Mayweather. But at the same time, everything that Tank is being given now through Floyd, I think Tank is just basically just sitting around waiting until Floyd gives him those big fights, and then boom, that's when we're gonna see like the best of Tank Davis. No, no, dude, fuck that shit. I think what's gonna happen is that the pressure is gonna get bigger and bigger, and everybody's gonna be saying, why the fuck Tank is not fighting these guys? Why isn't Tank cleaning out this division, that division? Because Tank has a lot of competition that he should be fighting. Tank has a lot of opposition that he should have been inside the ring with, and he should have smoked and annihilated them. Do you realize how many fights Gervonta Tank Davis could have been had throughout the entire year of COVID? To which I mean, it's not bad, because it's he at least gotten accomplishments within the year of COVID, and then when COVID was dying down, and now everything's starting to open back up, domestically in America. But even post-COVID and pre-COVID, Gervonta Tank Davis could have easily gotten these fights out of the way. But I think it was just Gervonta being so quiet to just let Floyd Mayweather tell him what to do and run his career. And now look at the situation that we're in, where Tank is not getting these big fights. And who's to say if Gervonta Tank Davis, if he's signed to Floyd Mayweather for life? Which I don't think so. And I mean, even if he was, he could just buy himself out of the contract. Even if he didn't want to be part of that contract. But I don't think Gervonta is stupid. I think Gervonta, he's trying to give it a little bit more time before he can just go his own path. To which he can, it's not like Gervonta is stupid, because people are making it seem like Gervonta Tank Davis cannot do it all by himself. But it's look at Devin Haney. Devin Haney is in partnership with DAZN, and look at how successful Devin is doing by becoming a free agent in the game of boxing. That's how every boxer should be. Every boxer should be their own free agent boss, and therefore, they shouldn't need to be paying out any money to any fighter. That should all be paid for by the fans. You know, we the fans is what we give you the money to set up these fights. Because I personally believe if boxing was set up like a league, if it was set up like a fight league, there wouldn't be any fucking complaining to say how much money do these fighters actually deserve. It's all it's all deserved through the fans. The fans decide what fights should be made. The fans should decide where the best fight the best at at all costs. The fans should decide where the venues are. The fans should decide what promotional businesses or what companies that want to co-sponsor certain leagues to give sponsorships to all these fighters around the globe to shine and to become a big pay-per-view level star. That is the big problem in boxing. The fans are not in full control to determine where these fighters should go. And I say, until that does get fixed, that's why boxing sucks. This is why Gervonta Tank Davis is in the predicament that he's in, because I want to say he's not pressing the action, or he's waiting for what Floyd is promising him, and then if Tank isn't getting what he wants, I think he's going to bloom away from Floyd, and he's going to skyrocket his entire career. See, now, some people could say, I don't think like that. I think Gervonta is going to, get all the big fights that he wants, and Floyd Mayweather is going to concede to Gervonta Davis's, demands, and you just got to be patient. But it's like, how much more patient can we be? Look at the progression that Tank Davis has been in. He got a world title at 22 years old. Okay, fine. He became the youngest world champion at 130 pounds to win a world title via the IBF. So, knowing that Tank got a belt at 22, leading into 23, 24, 25, leading up to 27, what has Gervonta Tank Davis done for the past 5 years? He hasn't really been doing anything other than just be on some big shows, get paid good money through Floyd. In which, he's been working with Floyd for quite a long time, so it's not like Gervonta Tank Davis has just been, signed with Floyd Mayweather forever. In which, don't get it twisted. Gervonta, he can fight on other platforms, but I think where Showtime and where Floyd Mayweather and the PBC have been treating Gervonta Tank Davis, he is that next big star. But the problem is that Floyd Mayweather is not unleashing, the gates of hell for Gervonta Tank Davis to just skyrocket and just annihilate all of his top tier competition. That's really what Floyd Mayweather doesn't want to do, especially from my view. But I think if this energy from Bob Arum and Teofimo Lopez is so high, where they're willing to fight Tank, knowing that Tank, he is a champion at 135, and he can petition to the WBA to make a fight with Teofimo for his belts, which if Tank does beat Teo, he will be the unified lightweight champion, which hence why I want this fight to happen. Tank versus Teofimo Lopez needs to be next if he gets past Isaac Cruz Gonzalez. And then if that can't be made, I think Tank should face Josh Taylor or face somebody for the WBA super belt via unification at 140, because everything that Gervonta Tank Davis has set for him, he has a plethora of fights that he can take, and there's so much food for Gervonta Tank Davis to be eating, where he'll turn into a mega star overnight. But the problem is Floyd Mayweather being the piece of shit idiot that he is to say, oh, don't worry, Tank, I'm going to give him, these fights, don't worry. But yet he doesn't give it to you. and yet you're like, like you're still being touted as like one of the best pound for pound fighters in the world, knowing that Gervonta, he hasn't beat any top tier level opponents yet. I mean, yeah, like like the only victories that I could say that are credible for Tank is, you know, definitely Mario Barrios. That's a good win. Jose Pedraza, that's a good win. Fucking Leo Santa Cruz, that's a great win. Yuriokas Gamboa, that's a damn good win. Cuellar, that's a damn good win. I actually like that fight. A lot of people want to disregard that, but no, that's a damn good fight. And I say that's pretty much it. Yeah, but I mean, Gervonta Tank Davis has been in there with some good competition, but I think how he's moving in the sport, he's moving similar to that of Adrian Broner, where like everybody wants Broner to go out there and start dominating everybody. But then again, no, actually no, that's like a bad comparison because AB actually split from Floyd, and then when AB went his own way, and then he started to do things independent, that's when Adrian Broner started to do very good in boxing. And then look at where AB's at, because he is a pay-per-view attraction. Like, a lot of people, still want to see Adrian Broner, and he's, still drawing in a huge-ass crowd, like, regardless of, like, what people say. But, no, I personally believe for Gervonta Tank Davis, he needs to push for this Teofimo Lopez fight, which I know Gervonta, he wants Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez wants Devin Haney, which I think that's what's going to happen next, because if you really think about it, I think Gervonta should wait until Teofimo, if he's successful against George Kambosos, which I highly doubt, but let's just say if he is and he beats the shit out of him, he should try to force a fight, or no, not force a fight. He should definitely make a fight in with Devin Haney. And then if Devin Haney is able to be made between him and Teo, which I know Teo, he's definitely going to make ducking excuses, but let's just say he really wanted that fight and he really wanted to give Devin, them hands. I think that would make it a lot better for Gervonta to wait for the winner of those two fights and then press the action to go after the winner of Devin Haney or Teofimo Lopez, and I think that will make way more money, because that's for undisputed, number one, and number two, there'll be way more money being put on the table versus, like unification. But I just wanted to make this video to share my initial thoughts, because I will say it is very, very difficult to talk boxing, especially from news, outlets where everybody might have, like the same amount of information as you, but it's never guaranteed, because some people may say one thing and then other people may say another thing. But then again, don't get it twisted. Teofimo Lopez was in a video with Eddie Hearn where he shook hands with him to say that he'll fight Devin Haney next if he's able to get past George Kambosos. But then again, why the hell do you think that Devin Haney wanted to press on Teo at the night of the Mikey Garcia-Sandor Martin fight? But now, here we are, Teofimo fighting Kambosos on November 27th, 2 weeks after, or pretty much like a week after the Porter-Crawford fight being over that following Saturday. You best believe Eddie Hearn, he's going to try to make that Devin Haney fight next. And I'm sure if he is successful, Devin Haney, he's going to pull up to that fucking fight arena, and then he's going to say to Teofimo, yo, let's fucking fight now. I got through my fucking opponent, and you got through your opponent, or once I get through my opponent, and now that you've gotten through yours, we should fight next. And I think that's what's going to happen. And hence, I really hope Devin does do well against Jojo Diaz, but part of me feels like Jojo, he's going to do something in that fight where he's going to catch Devin off guard, and Devin can be caught very bad in that fight because even though JoJo, he's not, like the biggest devastating puncher in that division, but JoJo, he could still do some damage. But I think Devin, he should do good in that fight because JoJo, he shows a lot of holes in his game. So I think what Devin, should be doing is just stick to fundamentals and he'll be good. But either way, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I hope Tio versus Tank can happen next. And I can't wait for that shit. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Have a good night. Bye.